Hey there, and welcome to my channel. This is a place where you can learn English by watching stories in English with subtitles in your language. Today, we are going to read a story called The Silent Goodbye from the Improve Your English series. You can find this book on Amazon. All the graded readers come with an audio, so you can listen and practice at the same time. Before we start reading, let's look at some of the words that we will learn in today's story. We have this word right here. Do you know what it means? Well, it means to discover or to find something by chance. Come across. In this story, someone will come across an old friend. Let's move on to the next one. This word is similar to our first word. It means to meet someone by chance, to bump into someone. She was very happy to bump into her friend at the supermarket. Our third word is wander. What does it mean? It means to move around without any direction. Look, she was wandering around the mall for hours. And finally, we have the word stare. Can you guess what it means? Right, it means to look at something or someone for a long time without speaking. They were staring at each other for a few seconds, but no one said anything. Now you are ready. Let's start reading. It was a warm spring day. A young woman named Sarah was walking along a busy street. She had just moved to this city. She was looking for an apartment, so she was walking from building to building. Suddenly, she saw a man sitting on a bench in front of the building. He looked sad. She stopped and asked if he was okay. The man looked up, startled. He quickly stood up and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't see you there." Sarah smiled and said, "It's all right. Are you sure you're okay?" The man hesitated for a moment, but then he said, "Yes, I'm fine. Thank you." Sarah noticed that the man kept looking at his watch. She thought that maybe he was waiting for someone, so she asked him, "Can I help you?" The man looked up and said, "Oh no, thank you. I'm waiting for someone." Sarah felt sorry for him. She didn't want him to wait there alone, so she sat down next to him and said, "Well, who are you waiting for?" The man hesitated again. He looked away and said, "A friend. An old friend. I haven't seen him for many years. Maybe he isn't coming." Sarah put her hand on his shoulder and said, "Don't worry. He will come. I'm sure." The man looked at her and said, "Thank you. You're a kind girl." Sarah smiled and said, "You're welcome. But you never told me his name. Who is this friend?" The man sighed and said, "His name is David. I studied at university with him. After graduation, I never saw him again." Just then, a young man came out of the building. He was smiling and waving to someone. Sarah turned to the man on the bench and asked, "Is that him?" The man stood up and said, "Yes, that's him. That's David." He started walking towards them. As David got closer, Sarah noticed that he looked very successful. He was well dressed. His shoes were expensive, and he had a nice watch. David approached the man and hugged him. He said, "Michael, I can't believe we met again after all this time." Michael returned the hug and said, "David, it's great to see you again." David looked at Sarah and said, "Who's this?" Michael said, "This is Sarah. She helped me when I was waiting for you." David thanked Sarah and asked what her name was. When Sarah told him, he said, "Nice to meet you, Sarah. You're a good friend to Michael." Sarah blushed and said, "It was no trouble at all. I'm just a friend." They talked together for a few minutes. Then Michael said, "I'd like to buy you a coffee, Sarah." As a thank you, of course. Sarah was very grateful, but she had to go home. She lived quite far away, and it was already late, so she said, "Thank you, but I can't stay. I have to go home now. It was really nice meeting you both." David agreed. He said, "Yes, it was nice meeting you too, and thank you for being such a good friend to my old buddy here." Michael laughed and said, "Don't forget to keep in touch, Sarah. It was really nice to meet you." Sarah smiled and said, "Of course. You too." Then she turned and walked away. As Sarah walked away, she heard Michael say to David, "Why did you come here today? Why did you come back?" David looked down and said, "I wanted to tell you goodbye. I'm leaving the country." Michael was shocked. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. He asked, "What? Why? Why are you leaving?" David sighed and said, "My job. It's a great opportunity. I have to take it." Michael nodded slowly. He understood. David continued, "I know this might be sudden, but I couldn't wait any longer. I had to tell you." Michael was silent for a moment. Then he said, "Of course I understand. Go and pursue your happiness, my friend. I'm happy for you." David smiled sadly and said, "Thank you, Michael. I'll miss you." Michael put his arm around David's shoulder and said, "I'll miss you too. But remember, no matter where life takes us, we will always be friends." David nodded and hugged Michael tightly. Then he turned and walked away. Michael watched him go, and a single tear rolled down his cheek. As David walked away, he felt a deep sadness inside. He had come to say goodbye to his best friend, but he couldn't bring himself to say the word goodbye. Instead, he had said nothing. It was a silent goodbye. Let's answer some questions about the story. What was the man's name? His name was Michael. Where did Michael and David meet Sarah? They met her at a building near Michael's apartment. Why did David come back to the city? He came back to say goodbye to his best friend, Michael. How did they say goodbye? It was a silent goodbye. David didn't say the word goodbye. Why do you think he didn't say goodbye? I think he was too sad to say goodbye. Now it's time to practice your speaking. Answer these questions in English. You can write your answers in the comments below. What did Sarah do when she saw the man sitting on the bench? Why was Michael waiting for David? How did David feel when he said goodbye to Michael? If you enjoyed today's story, please click the like button. If you want more stories like this, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.